What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. Today we have a listener mailbag for you, so once we get all the pleasantries out of the way, we'll be hopping right into our questions that we got from you guys on Twitter. You guys clutched up, gave us a bunch of good ones, so we're excited about those. But before we get into our questions for the day, boys, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, but also doing bad. I have been fighting a fucking war with my computer for like 2 weeks now. And it is the most frustrating thing in the world. Like, I've got one of my friends coming to look at it, but basically my GPU is dumb and stupid and hates me and doesn't want to work. And every time I go to render a video, my computer acts like there's 7 911s going on. And it terrifies me every time. Like, I am so scared my computer's just going to explode every time I try to render a video, which is unfortunate because I'm trying to work on stuff. But, I don't know, on the bright side, I got my shit unpacked finally, and things are set up, and that's good. Thank you, Steven, I appreciate it.
Bro's got a room.
I do, finally. I'm not in the corner of a fucking laundry room anymore. I have a real personal space.
That's just awful. I don't know, man.
Bro, why are we skipping me? What the fuck?
Geek, what the fuck are you doing, man?
What do you?
We always are third. Always.
Come on, dude, lock in. I'm doing quite good. I've got the NBA Finals on my other monitor. It's a fun watch-ish, and I'm just chilling.
That's depressing.
No, it's
I've had
not.
a decent
You don't
day.
have to lie. It's not a fun watch.
I said ish.
I always forget that this is the kind of basketball you enjoy.
I just like basketball. Every basketball game is kind of fun to watch at the very least.
Nah, he likes basketball like we like football, dude.
Now you can go, Geek. Now you can go.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Your turn.
I was doing okay until I got berated by all my friends. Now I'm not doing so great.
Well, maybe don't speak out of turn next time, and you won't get
Okay.
berated.
Come on.
What are we at? Episode 103, 104? Like,
Dude,
we
I don't
should
know.
be in the routine
Lock
by this
in.
point. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't-
how are you doing, Jake?
You know what, man? I'm doing fantastic, despite being berated last week. Just because, well, despite being bullied in Geek's Twitch stream last week, things are going relatively well in Jake's life.
What did they do to you in his Twitch stream?
So Miller clearly didn't listen to the Roll the North episode without him, which I don't blame him for. But so,
No, why would I? If I'm not involved, I don't care.
I've been in a romantic relationship for a couple weeks now, right? And so
Yeah. By the way, I didn't find that out through you, and I'm really heartbroken by that.
Found that out through me
Yeah, Geek had to tell me. Why didn't you come to me?
because I
'Cause
told
I
him
haven't
this
talked to you.
story. He's already forgotten. Though.
I haven't been at D&D, and you haven't been around the North since it happened.
You still could have shot me a text like, "Hey Miller, great news," and then told me.
I'm sorry.
Coulda-
You know what?
Could have checked up on me, man.
That's not how he
break up.
told me, though. He didn't even tell me. Not really. He just mentioned it in passing. He's
Right.
talking to me in my Twitch chat, and he's like, "Yeah, me and my girlfriend." It's like, whoa.
In the Twitch stream, right? So I go to the Twitch stream, and what I told Geek was that I just got done hanging with my girlfriend, and that for some reason she likes From the North, right? She's listening from the North and she enjoys it, right? And so I typed that in Geek's chat thinking he'll be like, "Good for you, man." And he goes, "Before me?"
I did do that.
I didn't.
And then it just turned in, and then Geek was like, "Oh, we all know we're getting one before Miller, but before me?" He turned it into a shot at you, first of all. He turned it into a shot at you more than a shot at me, even. He goes, "We're all getting one before Miller, but me?" So that, you can take that as you will. You get listened on the North, so you didn't know that he insulted you on the Twitch.
When I show
What is
up
happening
next
with
week,
your microphone?
Me?
Yeah, you keep.
Yeah,
it's
you're,
like
like,
you keep
keeping
putting
it
it in a
crazy.
bowl.
yeah.
It's just when
It's
you get a
very
little
odd.
bit louder. That's all that. Like, you sound normal when you talk, but
Okay.
But yeah, when I show up next week with short hair and no beard, it's Geek's fault. He made me self-conscious about my existence.
True.
Here, let me tell you this, Miller. I promise that will not help.
Oh, so I'm just fucked then.
No.
What is it the kids say? I'm chopped.
No, you're fine.
Is that?
I don't. It's inability to talk to people that is why this isn't happening, and I don't think changing your hair is going to fix that.
No, I've been wanting to cut my hair. It has been getting on my nerves
Look,
as of late.
Your
Right,
hair, fine.
just-
Just don't. If you're going to shave, just go for
This
a
needs
trim.
to be.
Do
I was gonna
not.
say this does need trimmed down.
That's not what you said. You said you were going to shave it,
I
and
know,
we
I was
lived
being
through that one.
dramatic.
Don't do it.
No, we're not going back for that one. No, in all seriousness, like now that things are stable, I do need to like get a little bit off the edges and get this cut shorter because it's a little too much right now.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking. Never mind, I can't make that joke. I'm looking a little Amish. We'll say that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, despite being bullied in Geek's Twitch stream, things are going quite well. Like I said.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and this past Sunday, I baptized somebody for the first time, and it was
Wow.
one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I will remember it for the rest of my life. And so, yeah, the life is good.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we got a mailbag today, so we're gonna hop right into our questions because we actually got quite a few by the end of it. So
Before we get into the questions, I just want to throw out Happy Pride. If you watch this podcast and you don't think sports are for everybody, die in a hole disrespectfully. Anyways, Jake, carry on.
What you said.
Yeah. So yeah, questions for today. We have, first of all, we got a plethora from Jay Rice, but I'll start with this first one. The favorite member of the 2015 Carolina Panthers, such a specific team. But I'm going to go with Cam Newton because that's the truthful answer. I'm not going to try and be different and come up with somebody else.
I gotta make sure he hadn't left yet.
He's looking
Mine
for
is also
former
Cam.
Bears.
No. I
Is
gotta
it
make
Tolbert?
sure. Yeah, I can't remember if Tolbert was a Charger by
I think
2015. He was
Tolbert
not.
there.
Tolbert
He
was
was
a
not-
Charger first, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Am I busted?
I swear he was a Charger
Am
first.
I washed? Yeah, he was. Oh my god. Buffalo is where he went after. I knew he played somewhere after Carolina because I knew he didn't retire a Panther. So he played for 1 year in Buffalo. But yeah, Mike Tolbert easily.
I mean, I know I was just making fun of Miller for gonna go after the former Bear, but I mean, Jared Allen was on that team. It's
Oh,
Jared
true.
Allen.
Bears
For me.
legend Jared Allen. Yeah.
All right,
Steven?
dude. He had like a quarter of
mine's
a
also
sack one
Cam.
time.
Cam was just an electric watch.
Oh yeah.
So
Like if I was picking a pure no, Luke Kuechly though too. Cam and Luke Kuechly
Oh.
were so sick, dude.
yeah,
I take it back. As much as I love Mike Tolbert, Peanut Tillman was on that team.
Really?
Peanut Tillman's my goat. Yeah.
What was that?
He played there for like
defense, man?
3 years. Looking at it, Charles Johnson, Star Latul. Is it Lutalele or
I thought it was-
Letulier?
I thought it
always
was
forget how to say his
Latulele.
name. I don't know.
Oh.
But that guy, Kawan Short, Jared Allen, Shaq Thompson, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Peanut Tillman, Josh Norman, Roman Harper, and Kurt Coleman were the starters.
Roman Harper? God, what is the 3 old men are
33-year-old.
crazy.
Yeah. Peanut was still like kind of killing it though. When he was there. Robert McLean was there. Cortland Finnegan was on that team.
did he have any forced fumbles?
Oh, dude, that
Peanut
corner
had
room
to.
was such a crash out waiting to happen at all times.
34-year-old Peanut Tillman. That was his final year. Did he have any? He had 2 that year.
Hell yeah.
Unk still had it. Holy shit. Real quick. What do you guys think Charles Tillman's career high in forced fumbles was in a season?
7.
2.
8.
10.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Wow.
I went the opposite of like everybody knows him as the fumble guy, so I just was like, he probably had like none somehow, and it makes no sense.
No, the Peanut Punch, man. It's legit. He had 44 career forced fumbles.
It's quite a lot. It's more than a lot
Insane.
of defensive tackles.
Yeah.
That's my goat. I love Peanut Tillman.
Next from Jay Rice.
FBI legend.
Favorite episode of television ever. This is a tough one. But I have my
Ooh.
answers. I'm ready. So
Ooh.
if y'all want me to go, I can go.
First one off the dome is the episode of New Girl where Jess gets her head stuck in the Bears helmet. And it's because she had a sex dream about Nick and doesn't want to tell him. And then he goes off and starts listing off potential bears-related individuals she could have had a sex dream about. And it's really funny because he calls Ryan Pace cute.
Oh.
Let's see that one. Ooh. Try to think of what regular show episode comes to mind. Probably the high score episode with Garrett Bobby Ferguson would be the first regular show episode that comes to mind. That or the fist pump one where they have to drink coffee and the big coffee bean.
Yeah.
Love that one as well.
Fist pump. Sorry.
Sorry, I forgot Mordecai was here in the room with us for a second. Yeah, I would say off the top of my head, probably one of those two.
Mine is the last episode of Adventure Time.
Really good
cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
So I have to go with two answers because there's either like the one that I think is just the best overall would be, I don't remember exactly which season or episode number it is, but like the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones, because it is so shocking. And it was before the writing turned into awful. So it was still a really good show then. But the like for ones I saw like as the show came out, because I didn't watch Game of Thrones until it was over, basically. It would be episode 5 of The Acolyte was the most fun I think I've ever had watching a TV show. That is the coolest that is the coolest anything Star Wars related ever. It's so sick. That's it. That's what I got.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Watch The Acolyte. Sorry.
I remember like a long time ago, there was like people were really pissed about the new season because you could like see a water bottle under a chair or something.
Starbucks cup. And it wasn't under a chair. There was a water bottle under a chair. There was also a Starbucks cup in the middle of a table during a very important war meeting. They also rushed what was supposed to be 3 seasons of a TV show into 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Because the two lead writers and directors wanted to go work on Star Wars, but they fucked Game of Thrones up so bad, Disney said, no, you don't get Star Wars anymore.
I also have to throw out Victory and Death from Star Wars The Clone Wars, the final episode.
Okay.
I almost forgot about that.
That's a good episode.
Oh my God. Chills all the way through. I have never reacted like in a more strong manner to an episode of TV I was watching as it aired. Like that.
Yeah. So I have 2 answers. One of them is season 4, episode 3 of Succession, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and features Kieran Culkin. Maybe, I mean, he won like 1,000 Emmys for that show, but just one of the best acting performances I've ever seen in my life. Speaking of which, the other one is Ozymandias from Breaking Bad, which is in the last season, which is where a very, very popular Walter White meme comes from, but one that is actually from a very devastating scene.
Which one?
And so the one where he like falls to the ground. Where he's kind of like,
oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say I've never seen Breaking Bad. I just know the meme.
Me neither.
I need to fix
yeah,
that.
yeah, one of the best episodes of television of all time. And again, Bryan Cranston is a legend. So yeah. And then Jay Rice's last question: the worst movie of the last 5 years.
Ooh. Amelia Perez. Easily.
Give it to me.
Hands down.
I'm on the Miller train on this one. I forgot about that. What a piece of slop, bro.
Dude.
Oh my God. I cannot believe Zoe. I love Zoe Saldana. Love Zoe Saldana. I cannot believe she won an Oscar for that performance. I cannot fathom it.
The best way I can describe that movie is as someone who was a theater kid at heart, that movie made me understand why people hate theater kids. Like, I finally got it watching that movie. It was an out-of-body experience in the worst way possible.
I didn't watch that movie, but I think one of the most...
Consider yourself lucky, man.
One of the most boring movies I've ever went to the theater to watch is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hater.
Oh.
I thought it had moments. I mean, I'm also a Marvel shill, so I can't like.
Yeah, I
give
guess
an
that's fair.
unbiased
I really
opinion,
am.
but I will say that's definitely one of my least favorite Marvel movies. Love Scarlett Johansson and
It's
her
because
character,
it was
but
fucking pointless. That sounds
Yeah.
so rude, and that's not ScarJo's fault. That movie
No,
should
it's-
have came out in 2017, not.
if that movie came out when it was supposed to, different story. But but it ended up, like you said, being pointless, and also I'm pretty sure the production on it was pretty rushed, wasn't it?
I think so. But
She got shafted.
I don't watch that many movies and very few recent movies, so that means it's easily The Flash.
Yeah.
That movie was
I still haven't seen it.
atrocious, dude. I downloaded it for, it was either a flight or a long drive I was taking, so I downloaded it to watch it, and I regretted it. I would have rather sat there with no noise, just like stared straight forward. It's bad. Like, at least Morbius, as bad as it is, at least it's fun. Jake, were you agreeing on whatever Miller said?
Amelia Perez, yeah, by far.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, two very bad movies.
What's wrong with Blood and Honey? I've never seen
What
it.
is that?
Pretty good. The first one is so bad, dude. It's so horrible. The budget is just so low, and oh my god. Okay, we have our first duck question, so prepare yourselves.
Oh,
We got a lot of them in here, so prepare yourselves for the future. But this is the first one. How do you feel about the circular logo trend in the NBA? Which league has the best logos, and who needs a rebrand? I guess I'll start on this one. The circular logos in the NBA, I think, are fine because the franchises who have them are the legendary, for the most part, the legendary certified, other than Orlando and Toronto, like the staple big time, like Dallas and LA and Boston. And then there's like Toronto, who has a really good logo. I mean, obviously the Raptors are one of the best logos and colors of all time. At least in the original one. Yes, Miller.
You said the staple franchises. They got rid of Staples Center. It's Crypto Arena now.
The crypto franchises.
that's like calling
like
Twitter X. If you ever do that again, you will not be on this show, and you will not be spoken to by another human.
I didn't know it was that big of a deal.
It is that big of a
I thought
deal.
I was-
We're
I
not
was
talking
making-
about
I was
crypto.
making a little silly.
I was making it funny. I want to
make it clear, by the way, crypto is evil and stupid, and if you invest in it, you're a moron or you were taking advantage of it, which either way, I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Answers within 4? Within 3? What is going on?
I've been
What is
watching the
going
game.
on?
Anyway, I don't really care. Like the circle logos are whatever to me. Like there are a lot of teams that still do their own thing. It's not just like a circle with a basketball in it. I think we get to a point where like 80% of the league is like a circle with a basketball in it. It could be a problem, but I think the best logos are NHL.
I can't give an unbiased answer. I just think the NFL is better at
Look,
everything.
Just look up the NHL logos. I think all of them are pretty unique.
Sharks, Sharks logo is fantastic. Wild logo is good.
Even the new Utah team has like a really cool logo.
I was going to
They
say
will,
Utah
yeah.
and Minnesota have two of my favorite logos for the NHL.
Sharks is good. The Canucks is good. The Jets is good. Yeah, really good logos on the NHL.
I was going to say, I think the NHL definitely takes just pure logos because so many NFL logos suck so hard.
The only bad NFL logo I can think of is the Titans.
Titans, the Browns just being a helmet is fucking stupid.
Okay, that's
The
fair. I'll
Bengals
give you
being
that.
a
I did
B
think about that.
is fucking stupid.
But that's iconic to me, though.
And no, because they've had a better logo in the past. The actual
True.
Bengal is better by a lot.
I don't care.
The New
either
York
way with
Giants
them.
are just 2 letters.
iconic.
Not in a cool way either. No, because everybody prefers their old logo that is just the name Giants in a better font.
Again, I said, I'm biased.
Well, I
can't
know,
give an
it's just
unbiased
hard-
opinion here.
The Commanders is literally just a shitty W.
Okay, the Commanders logo is bad.
Um,
But I mean, to be fair, I'll give them points because they're not racist anymore. Bad logo better than
they
racist.
could have
logo.
picked a lot of things better though for that. I mean, the Dolphins actively chose to downgrade their logo.
I still think it's cool.
The Bears logo, their primary logo, I hate less now.
I mean, I know I'm literally wearing the bear on my hat, but I still fuck with the C. Again,
Well,
I'm
you
even
have
more
to,
biased
dog.
in
I was
that
gonna say you
regard.
have to. I get it. But yeah, no. I like honestly, I think the NFL has like the second worst.
Again,
I don't. I lied. Baseball logos suck, dude. Like most teams' logos just suck.
When you guys were doing top of the NFL, I was gonna say that the one that really needs to rebound is the MLB.
Yeah, as a whole, especially so many of the teams have good alternate logos. Like the Rockies, instead of the CR, just use the fucking mountain, dude. This logo's so much better. You can barely see it because it's black and purple, but the mountain is so much better. Like a lot of the teams have good secondary logos. It's kind of the same with the NFL. Like a lot of the trash teams have decent secondary logos, except for the Commanders.
The Yankees are just letters. The Dodgers are just letters.
Yeah.
The Mets is just letters. Like it's just like they got to be more creative than that. That's what I was gonna say. But as far as the rebrand goes,
Yeah. Oh, and the circle thing, I hate them. Be creative.
Fair.
I hate all of them.
Okay, so now we're on to none other than Steven himself's questions. Will Anthony Richardson be so back? Well, we got some news
today, dude.
What happened today?
He hurt the same shoulder he got.
Yeah.
The same shoulder he got surgery on. That ended his season a couple years ago. And he is quote, he will be back sometime during training camp, which could be any time between the next 2 weeks and like 3 months. So nobody knows the timetable really.
No, his career's over. Welcome to the Trey Lance path. Your career is over. You don't get a full season of starts, but your potential has been wasted. Congrats, you're done.
I think he will get a shot somewhere more so than Trey Lance because teams are going to look at the fact that he played at a real school and be like, there's potential here. Plus, he's bigger, more athletic, arm is way bigger. So the traits are better.
The traits aren't as much better as you're saying. And real competition's a stretch.
Okay. But again, between Florida and North Dakota State.
Right. Okay. Here's my question. Because I don't want to say this without double checking. I don't know.
Are you okay?
What?
You should just they're gonna win. That's sorry.
My game's behind.
Oh shit.
Hang on.
Sorry, dude. The NBA finals are going nuts right now. I was wrong.
I was wrong. Take it back. I was wrong.
Oh no.
Oh.
Only I've been talking about it.
I don't know. In the small sample we got from Trey Lance, he looked more competent than Anthony Richardson has in a single game yet ever. So, while yes, the Niners are better, it is still like, I don't know. Trey Lance was also the hyper athlete, really young dude, never got a shot. I just don't think a team is going to go, this often injured guy, never played a full season, never played a really mediocre level of football. We need to give him a chance, but you wouldn't give Trey Lance a chance.
I guarantee a team with an older quarterback is going to look at him if, he becomes available, be like, we'll throw a seventh, bring him in. If we like what we see, great. If we don't, no harm, no foul.
Okay,
Like,
bringing him in is not giving him a
Rams-
chance.
Okay. Okay, well, if we're going by literally letting him see the field, and that's a different thing. But you said his career is over.
I mean, is Trey Lance's career not over? He's on rosters, but is his career not over?
Yeah, but he's not getting serious looks to potentially be like the successor somewhere. He's bouncing around as a backup. I'm saying I think Anthony Richardson will get picked up if the Colts let him go. He'd go to a team like the Raiders or the Rams who have a super old quarterback that's going to retire here soon with the intent of being, we want to look at this guy and see if he can be our next guy. If he can't, oh well. If he can, then we're buying low and reaping the benefits. Like, yeah, obviously Trey Lance is still on rosters, but no one's giving him a look as a potential starter. I think Anthony Richardson will be a little bit different.
Maybe.
If the Colts even let him go.
I was about to go the same route. I was gonna just specifically call it the Raiders though, because that just
Yeah.
feels like a Raiders thing. Also,
really
yeah,
does.
Halliburton just won the first game.
I
by
was gonna
himself,
say
basically.
I just looked over and
Yeah.
watched the score change. I can't actually see the game, but I just
got
watched the
3
score change.
notifications about Halliburton specifically. Let's see the shot.
Oh my
He came off the
Down
screen and just hit a
with the
nice
Thunder,
midi. It was sick.
boy. Down with the Thunder.
I just want to say these guys
Oh,
were hating.
nice.
It's been a great watch.
Dog, when we were
I've been watching
talking
the whole
earlier,
game.
they were down 20.
And it looked grim. It looked grim. They
I didn't give up.
were down 20 the next two. We should have seen this coming.
Well, I mean,
anyway,
you
we
got to
got-
remember, Halliburton made a deal with the devil.
Are we done talking about Andy Richardson? Any saved rounds on him?
I don't know. I just kind of hope he can play this season.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Low key.
The best M&M flavor, green by far.
That's not what I meant.
Blue.
No, obviously
I meant-
flavors,
Yeah,
because there's no
man.
taste difference between the colors.
I was gonna say I thought we were just playing into
I
a
was
bed.
thinking the color route. Oh, the peanut butter ones by far.
I like the original personally.
The peanut butter ones are my favorite. Love the peanut butter ones.
Geek to have an opinion.
I'm trying to think if there are other flavors. You know
I
what?
got two that I really like.
I
really
don't
like
know
the
why.
peanut ones.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And the brownie ones.
The what?
The peanut ones and the brownie ones.
There are
Oh, I haven't
brownie
seen the
ones?
brownie ones in a really long time, so they may not exist anymore. But they did exist, and I had them.
Did they?
That's
So
crazy.
Okay. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I'm gonna go with minis because the mini M&Ms taste different and they taste better. The ones that
they
come in
do-
the
they do
little
taste different.
the little tube.
Usually
The other
drink it.
two are too busy on their
Sorry.
phone. They're not paying attention. They're not actively present for this recording.
I said the peanut butter one.
Yeah, and then I
I
asked a
just said the
question and
original
you
one.
just
I'm sorry, I zoned out for 0.2 seconds. I got a very important text. What did you say?
I said the little mini M&Ms in the tube because they taste different,
Yeah.
right? Am I the only one who thinks they taste different?
No, they do. It's I don't know how to describe it, but they
Right.
definitely do taste different.
They're not the same flavor. It's just chocolate, but they're not the same. But yeah, I would say the little mini M&Ms.
Okay. Even what's your answer? The brownie ones?
Yeah, or I just like peanut M&Ms too. It's regular peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
Poison.
Don't care. I'll die on them.
I'll die on them is crazy.
Rank the top 10 best QBs by aura.
Okay, well we're all gonna disagree on this.
Yeah, I
I don't know if I
know.
I don't know if I can go in like a specific order, but I can probably give 10.
Lamar
best.
Jackson number 1.
Okay,
Yes.
hold on, let's let
Consensus?
Stephen cook.
Lamar can be number 1.
Are we trying to
Okay.
do a consensus?
Oh,
'Cause I
why
don't
are
think
we
it's
doing
gonna happen.
consensus? That's dumb.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Lamar's consensus.
Oh, Yeah.
No, I'm gonna disagree.
Okay, you're gonna be biased probably.
oh
Yes.
yeah. He's going to
Openly,
be
it's
biased and
We're talking about aura.
yes, and Lamar has more aura than any other NFL play than 95% of other NFL players ever. And more
don't
than
care.
any other
Caleb has
quarterback
more
who's ever
aura.
walked the earth.
Caleb has
Okay.
more aura.
No, he doesn't.
I'm just going to spew real
Okay.
quick. Lamar, Gino, Stafford, Kyler, Jordan, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. I don't know what I'm at. 7, 8.
You lost the plot a long time ago, man. Just quit.
Don't care.
I said
Give us
Jordan
his-
Love, bro.
I don't remember what number I'm at.
Least aura in his own division, and that division includes Jared Goff.
No, he
Let
has
me get-
more
no,
aura
no,
than
no.
Goff.
Let me guess. You're gonna say, "Oh, JJ McCarthy. He's got the Anakin Skywalker haircut." Like, come
I mean,
on,
that's
dude.
true,
Are we
but-
that ass? Are we that ass?
What aura does Jordan Love have? It's not
Look at him.
Toyota
He's
thumb,
hot.
dog. That doesn't equal aura.
That's like half of being auriful is being
No.
hot.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Steven, did you finish your list?
I think I have 2 more. I'll go
First person to ask this dog. I'm way too.
Bryce Young, and I'll go Oh, I guess I'll give it to Jalen Hurts. Bang.
Yeah. Okay. My list in no particular order. I'm just gonna give 10. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, and that's 9. And CJ Stroud.
Yeah, y'all are not gonna like my list. I don't have it in any order, but I've got Caleb, Lamar, Geno, Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes.
I don't hate any of those, really.
Okay.
Wait, who did you say just before? What was the very end of your list there?
Mahomes.
No, but like the last like 3 or 4.
Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
I swear I thought you said Justin Jefferson, and I was like, are you fucking stupid?
He has so much aura, he transcends position
I mean,
rankings.
I get that part. Like, he does, but like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
That's not real.
Go on, Geek. If you have your list ready.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, all of us have to get our biases in there. I think I have mine in order. So Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Baker, Burrow, Herbert, JJ.
Okay, at least you put JJ last.
Yeah.
For now,
I
we
can
haven't
respect that.
we haven't seen it yet. We
Fair.
haven't. Like we've seen preseason aura. I'm sorry. We gotta see
Yeah.
some real stuff
If we're
happen.
going off preseason aura, no one in the league has more aura than Austin Booker.
Untrue.
What that man did
Bo
against
Richter.
Buffalo last year. Who?
Bro, forgot about Bo Richter. He had 4
Who?
sacks against the Raiders last year.
Not only did he had to do it against the Raiders, but second string Raiders.
No, it was first string
Third
Raiders.
string Raiders?
Remember, the
Oh.
Raiders played their first string for the entire first 2 quarters.
Oh,
Yeah. Line him up anywhere that isn't Colton Miller, and you'll be fine.
yeah. Was he going against Delmar Glaze
I have
and
no idea.
Frostburg State legend Gottlieb Iedzi?
Okay. And then his next question isn't really a question. There was a question mark at the end, but it just says segment where you guys be nice to Jake? Question mark.
You know what? Here, I got this.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Glasses
taking
off.
off his glasses.
Jake, sincerely, I'm really proud of you, man. You've been doing great lately, and I feel like we haven't told you enough how much we love you. You're a great friend. I appreciate your presence and everything you bring to this show, and I really think my life would be worse if you were not in it.
Okay, I was not expecting that, but yeah. Oh.
Not that geek.
Steven, be nice. Oh, God, no shot.
Yeah, I can be nice. Jake, if you were an NFL quarterback, I would have put you number 1 with aura.
Hey, he said be nice to him, not flirt with him.
You said be
Relax.
nice to him, not lie.
I'm not lying.
He had so much aura as a
Have you seen that
quarterback.
picture of him with the fucking football?
Look at those
Oh,
curls.
Okay, dude.
Look at those curls. He'd have so much aura as a quarterback.
I think saying look at those curls while talking to a person with actually curly hair when you're talking about a guy whose hair curls slightly is crazy.
My hair is really curly.
I was gonna say
Really
Jake
curly.
has curly hair.
Yeah, that's
It's
just a good fact.
wavy.
All right. I
There's
forgot
a
I was
diff-
talking to Beatrice Semantics over
Well,
here.
I
Remember,
mean,
we're
my
supposed to be
hair
nice to
looks
Jake.
like fucking curly fries from Arby's, man. I don't.
You guys
I'm
should have
gonna
heard
hold
the
my tongue.
argument.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
You guys should have heard the argument I had with him yesterday.
Yeah.
As soon as I joined his stream, I said I was playing Madden franchise mode. I like to call it playing menu Madden because I'm just scrolling through
Sure.
a bunch of the
But
menus.
he wasn't on the
And
menu.
he was like,
We're
"It's
in a
not the
mode.
menu."
It's not the menu.
Dude, we argued about this for like
down.
10 minutes.
You gotta be put down.
What do you mean? Words have meanings, man.
And then
I
he
feel
was
like
just
Sam
wrong.
would
He
be able to
said
give.
he said alliteration was not what
No,
it is.
because alliteration and alliteration are two different things, and I was thinking of the wrong one. Okay.
Wow. I was
I
gonna say, I feel like if Sam was here, he would dunk on you hard for saying words have meaning. Probably bringing up something to the effect of like they have the meaning in which we assign them. Therefore, if you assign a word a different meaning as you speak, it has whatever meaning you want it to have.
except
because
it
they're
won't have that
arbitrary.
meaning to anyone else on the planet, so you're just an idiot. Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, but these are arbitrary rules that you're following that society places upon us. This isn't objective.
Yes,
this
if
isn't
we don't
human
want
nature.
yes, if we don't have words have meanings, we don't have language, then we don't have to have this stupid fucking conversation anymore, and that would be wonderful.
Again, Sam would be able to do it way better than I would because I'm
Yeah, me
I'm
and
trying
Sam
to,
would have a good time.
yeah.
You just
Oh,
make
all
me
right.
angry.
I'll leave. I know when I'm not wanted.
All right, man. They
I'll
did
drive
say
to
be
Virginia
nice
and
to
get 'em.
Jake, not be nice to Miller.
Yeah. Mr. Jake yet.
Yeah.
All you did was shit on his hair.
No,
Yeah.
that's not fair. I didn't shit on his hair. That's not what happened at all. Run it back.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Semantics Man. You didn't shit on his hair. You talked poorly about it because you
But I
couldn't
didn't.
shit on his hair. You're in different rooms.
But I didn't talk poorly about it. I just used a different descriptor word. It's not talking shit. Holy cow. You can't even be Semantics Man when you try. You're just so bad at it.
You're right because I'm not insufferable.
Hey, man, I'm not insufferable. You're all still here.
Yeah, for clout.
I mean, I've...
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not
can't
a
say
certain
that.
other individual.
Holy shit. I was about to say...
I can say it. I have no qualms.
Well, no.
I'm not a certain other individual
No,
that
I
uses
was
you for clout.
But also, let's be real. So does like 90% of the people I know. It's fine. We're just out here, man. I get it. And I'm too stupid to do anything about it because I'm being acknowledged by people. So it works.
Who's the Roman Reigns?
Yes.
That's the one that wants to be acknowledged. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm
you
learning.
are. This is incredible.
I know you acknowledge Roman Reigns and you believe in Joe Hendry. And
Yes.
also Bronson Rechsteiner is a former fullback
Dude, he's a
turned wrestler.
fucking monster.
Breaker,
Good.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
That's his wrestler name.
Yeah.
I know 3.
Because he breaks
And John
people.
Cena.
And you know CM Punk, because with Chicago. We bring
Oh,
him
yeah.
up every time we talk about Chicago
I
athletes.
do know him. I just
And
don't
Seth
know anything
Rollins,
about
because he's
him.
always wearing Bears stuff.
True,
Hey,
that's
are you
the
gonna
big
be nice
angry
to
Bears
Jake
fan.
now?
Dude, I'm trying to figure out how to say things that aren't just what Miller said specifically. You know, like I'm trying to be original here. You know, like I can't just be like, "Oh, Jake, we love you." Somebody already said that. Now I just look like I'm copying Miller's homework, you know?
Jake's loving this.
He really
This
is.
guy. Such a jolly
Yeah.
little fella. Jake, you're such a jolly guy.
No, yeah.
You just light up the room, man.
His cheeks got so red. It was
They
kind of
did.
sweet, honestly.
It's great.
My cheeks are always as red, dude.
That's
They are.
also
They
fair.
are.
I don't know what,
It's part of the
I don't know what
jolly.
that is.
It's the
Yeah,
jolly.
exactly. It's the jolly.
I'm built to be Santa Claus.
You don't
One day.
True.
you know, you don't look like your
Ooh.
soul has been drained out of you at most points.
Like, life has tortured me less currently.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
man.
Geek and
Pretty
I's
much.
trauma got rid of our rosy red cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be your elf.
Singular individual elf. Dude,
I just need.
way off topic, but you were talking about like life taking the soul out of you. Every day for the last month, I have woken up to like the darkest bags around my eyes, and my eyes being so bloodshot, it looks like they are just red. It looks like I'm strung out all the time. Every day when I wake up, it is the freakiest shit.
Geek, did you
Moved
get
to
into
Denver.
Dash?
No,
Moved to Denver, suddenly look up really high. I mean, I'm seeing a correlation.
not the same kind of high, Steven.
Hey,
This
I'm
is not
just
the
fucking with
ketamine.
you.
And I would
don't
never.
do drugs.
I'd
I
go
don't know
smoke some
anything.
weed though. I'd do that. It just costs money. I don't really have any of that.
You have YouTuber money.
No,
Or
I
Twitch
don't.
streamer money.
Yeah, which isn't any.
This
Unless-
guy's doing anything would be nice to Jake.
True. Anything.
See, by actively not being mean to him, that is me being nice to him.
Nice
You're
is
being-
not the absence of rudeness.
You're being neutral to Jake. You're
Yeah,
not
you're being very
nice to him.
neutral to Jake.
Look,
call,
man,
Steven.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say other than copy
Nice
Miller.
things.
And like the other thing that I want to say just feels like it'll start problems not with Jake. Jake will love it, but
What are you gonna
Hey.
say? He's your favorite podcast
Hey.
co-host?
no,
Oh, I thought you were gonna throw me and Grayson under the
Open
bus
it up.
and Wonder.
no, I was gonna call him my favorite Christian. Was actually my thought process
Well,
there, but
I
I
would
figured
say
that would
out of
start
the-
problems.
With who?
The world as a whole.
I don't think anyone cares, man.
Maybe
I'm gonna
not.
be real with you, Geek. I mean this with
I
love,
get
brother. I
afraid to
don't
bring
think-
up anything that matters because people get a lot.
I was gonna say I don't think the Geek Slays favorite Christian is a title many people are vying for.
How do you know? Well, I guess we'll find out in
I
the
just-
comments of this episode.
Yeah, let us know down in the comments below if you want to be Geek's favorite Christian.
Honestly, you know what? I'm turning that into a game show.
hope-
Jake, you're gonna be on it.
I'm kind of
It's
hoping like
just Jake.
I'm kind of hoping like Christian McCaffrey just shows up in the comments.
What the fuck?
And I'll just reply, I meant what I said.
This
Change
one
your
can
name to
start-
Chris, buddy. You can be my
Yeah,
favorite
dude.
Chris.
Yeah.
This one could start issues too.
Let's go.
But we got a string of duck questions.
Fuck.
Who's the Spider-Man and why is it Andrew? And my
I
answer is
disagree.
my answer is Andrew Garfield. I think
Yeah,
he's the best Spider-Man. I think he is definitively the best actor of the three of them, just in general. I think he is the better. I think he's a better Peter Parker than both of them, and I think he's a better Spider-Man than both of them. Ergo, best Spider-Man
I think
Because
me
he's
and David
better
are on the same page.
actors.
Are we?
Are you an unk?
Oh no, my answer is going to be different than
Oh.
yours. Mine should be pretty
Well,
obvious.
I'm a Toby head, so I'll defend him with my life. If his movies were made a decade later, I think he would be the GOAT.
They'd be worse. He'd have the
Disagree.
Amazing Spider-Man movies, which are written worse.
No, just everybody's the same, just the production's better.
Oh.
I think
see.
he's just talking about the VFX.
Yeah, I see. I see what
Mm.
you're saying now. Miller, I want to hear yours so I can yell.
It's Jake Johnson.
Oh,
Jake Johnson's
well,
my favorite Spider-Man.
that is not what
yeah.
anybody
He
was talking about, but fine.
Well,
you
he
win.
didn't specify
I'm
which
okay with that.
Spider-Man. He
I'm
just said
totally okay
Spider-Man.
with
Yeah,
that.
no, that's fine. I honestly thought you were gonna say Tom, and I was gonna fight
No,
you.
I will say out of the big three, Andrew's my favorite.
'Kay.
But no, Jake Johnson is that's my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like everyone has theirs, they claim Jake Johnson is 100% mine.
Andrew is
You
my
were not-
favorite.
I'll be the weird one. It's okay.
You're on
No.
the same page as me.
I like Toby. I just like
I
Andrew
love
more.
Toby.
It's not just a movies issue, like the VFX. It also bugs me that this very obviously 30-year-old man is trying to pass as a 17-year-old.
I
It's
was
really
gonna,
weird.
I was
Um,
gonna say I just like Andrew's charisma a lot more as
Yeah.
Spider-Man because you have to have a certain level of charisma to be Peter Parker, and like as great as Toby is for his version of Spider-Man, to me he is not what I picture Spider-Man to be.
Yeah.
Like if I were to cast Spider-Man right now, I would cast someone a lot closer to Andrew than I would to Toby, if that makes sense. But Toby's still incredible.
Tom
My
purely looks
favorite
wise
thing-
feels like a mix.
My favorite thing about Toby is just how awkward he is. I think
And
it's
that's
great.
fair. That's
I
fair.
still
Like
think
I
that a
don't.
lot of that's writing though.
I guess.
Don't
Even if
reply
it
to
is-
anything and just look goofy. I think Andrew Garfield could have done that. That's just not what he was told.
He's too hot.
No. Have you read Spider-Man comics? I guarantee you there's no world where
Quippy.
Peter Parker's ugly.
Talk quippy.
If you put Andrew Garfield in Toby's shoes, he's too hot to do the awkward thing.
I disagree.
He was very awkward in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie.
I was gonna say he's awkward a lot.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of awkward.
You're just doing the thing where he can't be a nerd because he rides a skateboard. And
No,
When
I
for the
don't even
2010s,
care about
would have
that.
been what nerds did.
yes, that was when I was in high school. That is what
Yeah.
nerds did. That was me. I was the
And just
nerd.
like with Tom, the way they show that he's a nerd is they build the fucking Lego Death Star.
no,
That is exactly what nerds would have been doing in what would that have been in late 2010s?
yeah, like 2017 or something.
Yeah, late 2010s.
Maybe 2016 because 2017 was when Black Widow was supposed to come out. Whatever.
Yeah. Grayson's next question is, why don't the larger wrestlers simply eat the smaller ones?
This is a great question. I do want to know why they don't.
I feel like Geek's the only one qualified to answer it, so you should hear from him.
Because cannibalism is bad. Okay.
How did
Yeah, but it's
Hornswoggle have such a long career?
Wait, what
Should
did
he
you
have
say?
gotten eaten?
Did Hornswoggle really have a long career?
I don't know. I'm making shit
Who
up.
the fuck is Hornswoggle?
He was
A
he
little
was so
person.
bad. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know.
He's a childhood memory of mine. I don't know why.
I
He
see.
is.
I was gonna say, if that was the case, would that just mean someone like John Cena would just be really, really fat now because they would have eaten so many people?
No, I
Yes.
feel like the Big Show just would have. No,
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
Henry would have just never lost, and he
Oh,
would.
and Andre the
there
Giant.
would be no wrestlers left.
Andre the Giant, that's a name I know. He was big man.
Yeah.
He would have eaten Hulk Hogan, right? Is that
I
the
wish
same era?
that would have happened.
Is that the same era? Do I have
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, and it was a big thing.
My goat Rey Mysterio would have been gone in his first match.
I don't know. Maybe he's too quick. The big guys couldn't get him.
Well, that's why they haven't gotten eaten.
Yeah,
Grayson,
yeah,
the
yeah,
small
yeah.
guys are too quick.
They're too quick. That's true.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm sure all of us can answer this question. Favorite Pokemon movie?
Ooh.
I had my answer.
I think I've only seen one.
I've seen
It's not bad.
3, but two of them stick
Well,
out
let
to
me pull the list up real quick just so I know I'm not forgetting
Yeah,
any.
so my first one is, I don't know if anybody has even seen this one from you guys, but Lucario and the Mystery of Mew is my first one. I like that one.
Yeah, I've seen Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
And then the second one, because it's one of the 3 I've seen, I thought it was really funny, is Detective Pikachu.
Detective
That was gonna be
Pikachu
mine.
was
That was the
very
only one I've
good.
seen.
I was a big fan of Detective Pikachu, so.
think
No,
you might
I-
be out on this.
I don't think my biased ass can say anything other than Pokemon the first movie from 1998. Although Pokemon the movie 2000 was really good too. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say Pokemon the first movie. That's my favorite. When Ash gets turned to Stone Man, I can't watch it without crying. Pikachu gets so sad, bro.
True.
It's so good. I love Pokemon.
Geek, do you have an
movie.
answer?
Never seen a
Fair enough.
Pokemon movie.
Steven, is yours Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the only one
Speaking
I've
of
seen.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
Oh,
Solid.
smooth.
Good
Smooth.
go. Movie or TV show? Question mark.
it has been featured in both, but I would say that is not the primary source.
Video game.
Yes.
Okay. It's a Pokemon.
Yes. It is a
Okay.
Pokemon.
Charizard.
I'm out. Got no Pokemon knowledge. Pikachu. I
No,
got
it's not
Magikarp.
Pikachu and it's not Charizard. It's not Magikarp. You're in the right gen, though. It is a Gen 1 Pokemon.
Okay,
I'll give
that's
you
what I was
that.
about to ask. Because if it's
I
after
don't
that,
know
I'm
about
cooked.
Got nothing.
The originals. It's the OGs.
Okay, is it a fire
Squirtle?
type?
It is a fire type.
Is it just Charizard?
No, it's
I
not
said that.
Charizard.
I wasn't paying attention.
Charmander?
Yeah, it's
Charmander.
Charmander.
Nice.
Look at him. Look at him. He's doing a little wink.
Oh, so
And we-
cute.
Yeah.
Got him back on my show.
That'd be a quick ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so his next question is to build an all-time defense minus NFC North players.
Ooh.
I thought about this one ahead of time, and so I was thinking I would give my answers, and you guys could shout at me.
Okay, that works.
You just or not. We cool?
That
Yeah,
works for
yeah,
me.
that works.
Okay. We'll start with defensive line. D tackles, Warren Sapp and Aaron Donald.
I don't know if I agree with Sap.
Okay.
I don't know
would
who
you-
I would. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Aaron Donald's obviously a gimme. Hold on. So, are we discluding anyone who's ever like played a snap in the NFC North, or is it just guys that are
Yeah.
like known for being in the NFC North?
I would say it's probably known for being in the NFC North.
Okay, so if it's a guy that like played a snap at the end of his career or some shit,
So-
then
sorry,
Yes,
we're
Gage.
specifically at defensive tackle, right?
yeah.
There's, I think, a very obvious one because he split time between tackle and edge, the same as Aaron Donald, and was more dominant than Aaron Donald. J.J. Watt.
Figured we just put him at edge, though.
I was gonna say I would say JJ Watt at the end.
So we're just doing a 4-3 then, and we're cutting out most edge rushers.
I mean, who's
not
the edge?
inherently-
Lawrence Taylor and JJ Watt. No?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think when you have got, I think JJ Watt is good enough to where you just get him on the team
Well, yes.
and then figure out where he plays later. And to me, I would say you call him an edge because that's what he played more. I mean, this is really getting into semantics. You could say that if you wanted to just have an extra edge, but
Also, technically, I don't think Warren Sapp would have worked anyways. Because
why?
technically, we have to cut the Bucks off this list entirely. They were originally in the NFC Central with the NFC North
Well,
teams. If
right, but
we're
Grayson
semanticing
said
it,
NFC North, not NFC Central.
were they? But it's the same division.
By the time they became the North, the Bucks were
Guess
gone.
that's fair.
So did we kind of solidify the D line or not really?
We still
Nick
need.
Snap is a good answer. I don't know if anyone else
I would
has any
say,
answers.
just from the outside, Mark Gastineau would be a name I'd throw out as a D tackle. Actually, no, never mind. He's a little bit smaller than I thought he was.
I was gonna say. I also
He was a
think
4-3
in that
end.
case, I'd still stick with Sapp.
I would. I'm just saying no to Sap because Sap's gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
John Klecko. That's who I was thinking of, not Gastineau. John Klecko, who played next to him for the Jets. That would be a name I'd definitely throw out. Deacon Jones, I would call more of a
what about like
DN.
interesting. What about like a Randy White? Or
In my brain, he's a D end as well. But I mean,
Okay.
if you want to say like we're
Richard-
kicking him inside,
ooh,
then sure.
you want to just put the biggest guy there and go Vince Wilfork?
I mean, if we want to
Richard
get like
Seymour?
really semantic, if we want to get really semantical and say 3 technique nose tackle,
Ooh, then
and then say Aaron Donald 3 technique Vince Wilfork nose tackle,
Yeah.
I love that. I'm 100% on
works.
board with that.
let's do that.
And then Lawrence Taylor, JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Even though I know
Yeah,
Lawrence
so-
Taylor is also gross, it's just he's
Kind of covers outside linebacker. So middle linebacker. I mean, you can go with anybody like Fred Warner or Luke Kuechly.
I'm saying Kuechly.
Kuechly, Ray Lewis. You need 3 if we're running a 4-3.
Chris Banjo.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Kuechly, Ray
Patrick
Lewis,
Willis.
and
One of the I was gonna say one of the Steelers guys, like a Jack Lambert.
Yeah, but it's the Steelers, so let's leave him off the list.
I
We're
mean,
supposed to leave the NFC North team. That's not the AFC teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Miller hates
Did
the
you miss
Steelers.
you?
I'm just.
I do, but like Jack Lambert, I mean, I have personal ties to him.
Oh my god.
He's a good friend of mine
All right, man.
who I spoke to when I was 8.
I was gonna say he said a sentence to you one time
Yeah, me and Jack Lambert, we go way back, man. We go way back.
for you.
Yeah.
okay, and
Oh.
the secondary.
Also, I just want to say on the topic of linebacker, real quick, my hot take is that I would put Fred Warner above Patrick Willis.
I thought you were gonna say above Kuechly, and I was gonna come through this fucking screen.
No. No. I'm just saying, if we were gonna pick a Niners linebacker, I'd be advocating for Fred.
Interesting, but okay.
In the secondary, yeah, I mean corners, Champ Bailey, Deion Sanders, Darrell Revis.
Yeah,
Revis for sure.
Dion for sure.
Yeah.
Champ Bailey. I mean,
I think I would
too,
go
yeah.
Champ, yeah.
Yeah.
and then free safety, Ed Reed. I think
Yes.
is probably my top choice. Strong safety, Trey Polamalu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That's pretty much it there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
list. And then final Doug question is Ghost real or not?
Uh,
I can't really get into my answer fully, but the answer is no.
I think spirits are real. I don't know about ghosts per se, but I do think the dead walk among us. I don't know. Maybe this is just my interpretation of the word, but when I think ghost, I think they're like malicious, right? Like they have some sort of negative, poor intent. So I don't think it's that per se, but I definitely believe that the dead are among us, just in a more positive light. Because like I've seen examples, of like people that have passed on from me sending signs or making themselves known, that type of thing. But I don't think like malicious ghosts or spirits or however you want to put it are real personally.
I'll say yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any reason not to think they're real, I guess. I don't really have any like stories, but if they're not like doing anything, why wouldn't they exist? I guess. I don't know. That's a stupid way to think about it, but
We don't have enough time to get into what would be my full answer, so I'm just going to go with yes, and we're going to call it good, because I could do a 2-hour podcast talking about my thoughts on ghosts. So
Geek's apartment is haunted and he's dating the ghost.
no, but that'd be interesting. That would be a cool show.
I thought you were gonna say that'd be hot.
I mean, maybe. Depends on the ghost.
Well, you're not getting any physical touch. Just
True.
Still
Just, like,
depends on
writing
the
the
ghost.
walls like geek, open your mouth.
Oh my god.
I like that you found a way to, never mind. I'm not going to say that because he's going to get semantic.
We have a
I don't want to
question
deal with it.
from our good friend Sam.
Oh,
Good.
Oh yay.
He
Good.
says, would you
Uh-oh.
rather have the brain of an octopus in the body of a human or a human brain in an octopus body?
Ooh.
I'm going to go with the human brain octopus body. With my current knowledge in an octopus, I would be a demon.
Bro, I'd be the
I
first octopus to know
don't-
ball.
I hate this question. I also hate that answer for so many reasons, Jake.
Fucking demon. bro.
Yeah, that's probably why he hates it. He's thinking about fucking.
Well, yeah, the last time Sam was talking about tentacles, did we forget about D&D a couple days ago, man? I just
Never heard.
I was going to say Jake wasn't there.
Sam
Jake,
and
you're joining us
tentacles
again
has it.
soon, aren't you?
What?
Aren't you joining us again soon?
Within the next few weeks, I think is the hope.
Yippee! We have to talk
Yeah.
about that then.
We
We
do.
have to-
Yep.
But see, what's really sad is the first thing I thought of was, okay, well, if I put my brain in an octopus, would I be able to open a jar and go viral? And I don't think I would be.
Weak ass octopus.
I think no, it's not that I'd be weak. I just don't think I'd know how to control the limbs the right way. I think it would take too long, and I'd get sick of it and mad and like start breaking the cage.
I hate the way my brain works.
I still think I'd go that route though.
Well,
No, wait,
okay,
no, because then I wouldn't be able to communicate. Ugh.
right, but also, would you be able to communicate if you had the brain of an octopus? Because, like,
Well,
Okay,
octopi are
ground yourself.
smart.
Here-
They
right.
learn.
right, but here's what I'm asking, because, like, how much of what humans are and are able to do isn't tied to their brain, but more tied to consciousness? Am I still conscious as geek if I replace my brain with the octopus brain, or is it the octopus? Because in that case, I'm gone as a being, not a physical
Fair.
being, but a spiritual, mental being. So
Okay.
it all depends on what you think consciousness is and where it comes from. And
On the
see, I
flip side
found
of
another
that, though-
question where I could be here for 2 hours. Sam, we should debate this on.
On the flip side of that, though, let's say hypothetically it does work that way. You put your consciousness into the octopus. You physically cannot speak
Right.
because octopi don't have the vocal cords. So you get yourself in a situation where you might be able to like learn how to write,
Yeah.
but is that going to be, I mean, for me personally, that just wouldn't be fulfilling. Like having to write everything I want to get out of my mouth. That sounds like my personal hell.
You perhaps use your.
I
own
talk
ink.
too much for
Yeah,
that
but
shit.
think about it. You have like 8 arms, so you gotta be constantly writing so many things.
My brain doesn't move that quick.
Your own ink is crazy.
I just
It
chose
went under
not
the
to
radar.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, I was trying to ignore that, man.
But
Oh
yeah,
my
no, you
God.
get yourself in like a I have no mouth, but I must scream situation,
See,
and
but
like I'm good
If
on
you
that.
replace it with the octopus, did you just die? Like, if you have octopus brain, is Miller gone?
Yeah, geeks looking at it as like, would you rather kill yourself or be an octopus?
Yeah, right. And like,
Honestly,
this
I
is
think-
still a valid question. I'm
I
still
might
struggling.
take
but-
the. I think I would have to consult with a priest to find out how the big man would feel about that. Like if I went
Well, see,
to the
you're
pearly
not
gates, if
killing
I'm-
yourself. This is the option. These are the only 2 options.
Yeah.
So it's not suicide; it's murder.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, if it's not suicide, because I know that's frowned upon, then if we're considering it murder, if I can go up to the pearly gates, talk to St. Peter, and be like, listen, it was this or this, and he's like, you know what, you're good, then I'm taking death. Because I'd rather live in eternal paradise than be stuck in a fucking tank. I'm good
Well,
on that.
you could
dog.
be in the ocean. Why you gotta be in a tank?
That's scary. That's worse.
Be in the ocean, bro. I don't know what y'all are on. I'm be in the ocean.
I don't know.
No,
It
because then I wouldn't have
depends.
any connection. I'm too social of a being to isolate myself like that.
I think.
You have octopus friends.
I don't want octopus friends.
Yeah, you get a whole squad of octopi.
D&D
Can they roll a
octopus.
d20?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably
Well,
not.
actually, yes. They
Okay,
they can
okay,
roll
but
like
can they
8 of them at a time,
they
man. That's the whole
participate in-
key.
Can they participate in immersive roleplay?
Maybe.
I don't know.
What do?
You have
Here's
to
a new question: Do
communicate, like,
octopi have their
echolocation.
own language? Like, how do they? Can they
I'm sure they
communicate?
communicate.
Right.
But
So maybe they
not
can.
verbally.
Right. So
Well, this
maybe
is the-
you're still in active roleplay. Maybe.
Okay.
Like.
Okay. But can my new octopi friends debate with me whether or not Jay Cutler's career would have went differently had he actually cared a little bit?
Can you
I think
somehow
not.
show them Jay Cutler highlights?
Probably not if I'm in the middle of the ocean.
Well, I mean, there's a lot
Okay,
of TVs.
According
What
to
do you
Google, not AI Google, regular
Good.
Google,
Good.
they mainly use like signals and they change their skin texture to communicate with other octopus.
Yeah, see, I don't want to get filled up all the time. I don't want to have to like I don't want to have to walk up to Paul like
Honestly,
down
I
the
get
ocean.
that. I don't like. I
I'm
don't like.
being too loud. I think
Yeah.
someone's at my
Okay.
door,
Well,
but-
that's enough octopi talk.
Are you sure? I've got so many more things I could talk about.
We have another podcast weighing in. And I'm sure this is a podcast that actively exists and totally isn't completely.
Oh no, I
off
know exactly this is gonna be.
boys. I'm sure this was just Grayson using an alternate account to ask questions. I'm not gonna go in order because I think the last one's funny. I don't know who wrote this for the Bear Down Boys, but one of their questions is why won't she return my calls? And
Okay.
so
So real quick, Bear Down Boys is
Here's what-
Miller, Grayson.
Nicola Jarrett.
Okay,
you're right.
because I'm gonna have 4 different answers.
Okay.
Okay.
About J Rice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
You tripping? Okay, I don't need to know
That-
the detail.
I was gonna
There's
say
a
that's a whole
topic.
thing.
Yeah,
We're
there's
just
a
gonna
whole
leave
thing.
that
Yeah.
at that.
Answer
Yep.
no. The answer no. Okay,
The answer
this
is no.
Okay. Anyway, why
I
won't
know
she
exactly who wrote this based on the first question. I just looked at the tweet.
What's the first question?
I don't know. The first question is thoughts on the fishy rap battles.
What? Who could it possibly be?
I bet it was Miller.
David, Jake.
Yeah.
It was David.
No, the fishy rap battles are peak. The
Oh,
fishy rap battles
okay.
are peak. If you don't know, you know. You gotta know. Steven knows.
You asked a Miller specific question. You
Yes, Miller
you-
asked his own question.
Yeah.
want to talk about anime? Go ahead. What anime have you been watching, Miller?
So I just
My
got
God, no,
done.
stop.
I just got done rewatching season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen and the movie Jujutsu Kaisen 0. But the most recent anime I watched, like start to finish, for the first time was Freerun Beyond Journey's End, and oh my god, that series changed my perspective on life in general. Geek, listen, I know you're not into anime, but I really think you would like this one.
I think one day I want to be. I have said it before and I will say it
I know
again.
you-
I'm waiting for somebody to watch anime with.
No, I get that. But listen, I just want to give you the premise of this.
Yeah, I think we
because
might have
you'll
talked
really
about
be
it.
intrigued about this. So the main bit is there's an adventuring party that like it's fantasy. It's
Yeah.
high fantasy. And there's an adventuring party of 4. There's a priest, a dwarven soldier, like a stereotypical action hero type, or not action hero, but like stereotypical fantasy hero type of guy, and then an elven mage, right? And the 4 of them, they save the world from the Demon King, and that happens in the first episode. You see the results of that, and they're all talking about like what they're going to do with their life next. And then it cuts, and the elf looks exactly the same after 50 years, because that's how elves age. And everyone else is old. And the show is about the elf, Freerun, coming to terms with the rest of her party dying, and her not like appreciating them while they were alive because it didn't register with her how different their lifespans were.
That's
And it's
kinda
the
cool.
first time I've ever seen a piece of media do that, like really explore how different the lifespan of elves tend to be in fantasy versus everybody else. Because we're talking about 2 humans and a dwarf. Like the dwarf, he's still alive and kicking, obviously, but he's still showing a lot more age.
Yeah.
And then both the humans, they die in the first episode because they get old.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so good, and it's like not super like aura farmy. Like there's a couple moments where some awesome shit happens, but it's natural. It's not
Yeah.
like forced aura farming. It's a lot more like character based and world building and really like exploring the interpersonal relationships between the characters and stuff. It is one of the best shows I have ever watched, and I really think you would really like it.
Okay.
This is exactly what he had in mind when he asked the question.
Yeah, this whole
Yeah, he
No,
wanted
I
this
asked it
conversation.
specific- Yeah,
Yep.
I wanted to try to get Geek to watch an anime.
Yep, there it is. Okay, who is your
I
least
promise I'm
favorite
not
pick from
that.
each NFC North team? Ooh, I don't know.
Least
You
favorite
probably
in
just
what
asked-
way? Like unbiased or
When I wrote it, it was in mind of like, who do you think the worst pick, like bad pick, not who are you pissed that
Yeah.
these NFC North teams
Okay.
got? Because like I'm not going to say Donovan Jackson and Matthew Golden
Right.
and Tyleek Williams. I would say Savion Williams and Gavin Bartholomew and Isaac Tesla and Zay Frazier.
I was gonna say Tesla.
I like Tesla a lot more than a lot of people, but I still think that pick was insane. Giving up 3/3 to move up and get him was crazy.
Yeah.
man, I don't know enough about any of the guys the Bears drafted later.
Also, Gavin Bartholomew might actually not be my answer. That was just the first name I thought of for the Vikings. Give me a second.
That's valid.
I gotta
I'm trying to
recheck.
look at the Bears draft class, and it's just I don't know.
But
It's
No,
just look at
he
David's
definitely
Discord.
was. Oh, am I good?
Oh. No, you're fine. I was saying you want to see the Bears draft class, just look at David's Discord.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just read my Discord status. But no, Gavin Bartholomew was definitely my least favorite for the Vikings, just because they signed a better tight end as a UDFA, and that pick felt like a waste.
that's how outside of the first 2 picks, that is how their entire draft felt. I mean, they made 4 picks, but you know what I mean. That's just how.
No,
it
yeah, I was
felt.
gonna say, and even then, it's not like an objectively bad pick or anything. It's just one that I'm not big on. Savion
Yeah.
Williams was a really bad pick, though. I mean that with all due respect. I think he's an interesting player. I just feel like that was not something you guys even kind of needed.
Yeah, going wide receiver twice is certainly a choice.
And the thing is,
When the
Savion
entire
Williams
problem
isn't
is
even-
Jake, you're muted. Or something. Your mic's not working at all.
There we go.
Oh,
I heard you.
there it goes.
There you go. I was gonna say Savion Williams isn't even a real wide receiver.
No. I don't
He's like
know
Courtney
anything
Gaudi.
about him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where would you have wanted to see him go?
I talked about it in the video I made. Corner would have been really, really big.
No, not the
there,
Packers.
or
Where would you want to see Savion go?
Savion. Trying to think of what team. I mean, any team that has like a creative offensive coordinator. Not to say LaFleur isn't creative. It's just I feel like you have guys who can already do everything that he's gonna do.
Yeah, I don't think he makes the roster.
He'll make the roster just because of the capital they spent on him. But San Francisco,
So who
off the top
doesn't?
of my head, probably.
What do you mean? Who doesn't?
You have 8 receivers already, so you have to cut 6 of them. I know that's an exaggeration in both ways, but you have more than enough starters from last year. Then you draft a guy, and then
Only have 2 receivers on the roster.
Yeah, I think
Right.
Malik Heath probably doesn't make it, and Bo Melton probably doesn't make it.
yes,
Yeah, so you guys are looking at Reed, Golden, Dobbs, Watson, Wicks, Williams, and Mecole Hardman, probably.
Yeah.
There's no way they're rocking with
that's fine.
7 receivers.
Okay, well then drop Mecole.
I guess.
6 receivers is pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
But again, I don't think.
But- I don't know. Wasting a 3rd-round pick on wide receiver 6 is a little tough.
Yeah, that's
He's
more
not
where I'm
playing
at with that
receiver.
pick.
Probably. It would probably just
Okay.
be like a wildcat, random like
So that's
special
worse.
play,
then.
so LaFleur can draw it up.
I was gonna say taking a manufactured touch gadget guy when you have genuine holes on your roster on day 2 is bad process to me.
Yeah,
Then he shouldn't have got drafted. Then he wouldn't be good on any team.
no,
Okay.
it's what. That's
To
not
me,
even
he was
kind
a
of close to
day 3
what we're
player.
saying.
Like that's the other thing. I thought he was like a 4th, 5th round type of guy. You guys take him earlier than I thought he should have been taken. And then on top of that, with Green Bay being a team that wants to win right now, it would have made way more sense to me to take a player that is going to play a real like starting role. Again, you guys have Keyshawn Nixon starting as an outside corner. I would have taken any of like 9 corners over taking Savion Williams. Or
I think
take
it could
a
be
corner-
cool. I think you guys are being haters.
I think he will be fun and he will make big plays, but from a pure process standpoint, I think it was a bad pick.
If he will make big plays, then it was a good pick.
Yeah, except for he made a big play in the first quarter, but then your defense got torched and you lose anyways. The big play doesn't matter when you lose games because you needed a corner.
Okay. A 3rd-round corner and a 3rd-round receiver, like, I don't know. Is the 3rd-round corner going to play that much? I
Here's the
guess?
difference.
When Keyshawn
Savion
Nixon
is
is
going to
starting
get
for you, yes.
yes, and also Savion is going to get less than 10 snaps a game. The 3rd-round corner would get more than 50% of the defensive snaps a game. That is a major difference.
Unless he sucks, and Savion might just suck. We don't know.
Well, then, then by that logic, we shouldn't have this conversation, and we should never talk about draft picks because we don't know. So
I was
what's
gonna
the
say,
point?
it's like,
Steven,
well, it's like how
What?
what's the hit rate on 3rd-round corners?
No, listen,
What's
I
the
get
hit-
what you're right. The hit rate on anything is up in the air. I'm just saying when you're talking about like draft grades or like analyzing a pick before they have seen the field, you're going off of process, you're going off of what the roster has, and you're going off what the player did in college. Realistically, Savion Williams could not there is a world where he could get cut halfway through the season because he's doo-doo butt dick fart fuck ass. Like he could just be the worst player in NFL history. Or he could come out and be Cordell Patterson on steroids and be unreal and incredible. We don't know. But the point is, given what we do know, I think it was a bad pick.
Okay, so you think he should have gone to a creative offense, just not the Packers?
Yeah, because the
He should have
Packers
been
had more
drafted
pressing
later.
needs.
to a team
Also
with a
that.
more creative, or not a more creative offense, but to a team with a creative offense with less holes on their roster total.
I'll put it this way too. If the Packers would have taken him in the 4th or 5th round, I wouldn't have this problem. Taking him as high as they did is also like a big thing for me because I just didn't think he was as good as 3rd round capital would suggest.
I don't know. I guess I think less of 3rd round picks than you guys do. I think it's just kind of a fun pick.
I mean, objectively, like it's fun. That's fine.
Yeah.
You just got to remember, I'm coming at this from less of a what's going to be fun and more of a, looking at the. I'm looking at this like a nerd. You're looking at this like a fan.
Fun doesn't win football games.
And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, Steven. Our minds just work
Right.
differently. I mean, you send me posts all the time that you're like, I'm not watching all this, but it's nerd shit. You'd love it.
That's
Like,
true.
that's the perfect way to describe what this conversation has been.
Yeah. Okay. When are Geek and Miller bouldering their gates?
I don't know. Every time I ask Miller, his exact answer is, I don't know, we'll get to it sometime. So, Miller, when the fuck are we playing Baldur's Gate?
I'm trying to think.
He's going to say, I don't know, sometimes, and I'm going to throw something.
I do not possess the information you are currently asking for, but perhaps we can make this occur at a later date.
Gonna curb stomp a motherfucker. Dude, oh my God.
No, in all seriousness, like any time, outside of Fridays and Saturdays, I'm kind of free whenever. So
Heard
All right.
soon,
Who's
TM.
finishing last in the division? Why is it Detroit?
I think it's
It's
Detroit,
Detroit.
man.
Detroit.
I think the coaching brain drain is going to be bigger than people are assuming.
I don't think it'll be
That's-
that. I think it's Frank Ragnow.
that's
huge,
what
dude.
I'm really
I-
scared about.
Frank
Nick
Ragnow is my
Kiddo.
new favorite person.
High school. Yep.
Specifically waiting to retire until after the draft and free agency to screw over the Lions is the greatest thing anyone has ever done.
To be fair, the Lions did take 2 interior linemen, but both of them are massive question marks. Because Tate Ratledge is a stud. He never finished a full season of college football. He is always injured. And then Miles Frazier is kicking in from tackle and is a developmental player. So those two and Christian Mahogany are battling for 2 spots on their offensive line. And then Graham Glasgow might have to play out of position.
So we're going to get people who've never played center playing center. And
Yes.
yeah, I know we all saw Theo's video, but like none of them don't care. None of them are replacing Ragnow. Not what Ragnow
No.
actually is,
Mhm.
because Ragnow is like one of 3 island centers in the league, maybe. Yeah, you're not replacing that with any of the people mentioned.
Yeah.
So the interior of that O-line is going to get really bad really fast, which is a problem because Green Bay's best defensive linemen are on the interior. Minnesota and Chicago just said, you know what? We want to build the interior. Detroit's screwed. And Goff with pressure up the middle.
Yep.
Have fun.
Yeah. All of that. And then, like Geek mentioned, the brain drain of not having 2 of the brightest coordinators in all of football anymore. Which, who knows, maybe their new guys could surprise. Like, I'm not going to write them off because we've never seen them run an offense or a defense. But realistically, it's hard to go from Ben Johnson to a coach as good as Ben Johnson. Or to go from Aaron Glenn to a coach as good as Aaron Glenn.
We watched this with the Eagles a couple years ago. Like, and I'm not saying that the coordinators are going to be as bad as what Philly dealt with immediately. But it's like even a slight drop is going to be a lot, especially in a division as competitive as the North.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could finish bottom of the division and be 11-6.
9-8.
Like,
Yeah.
like that. They could also be awful, but like the odds are everyone in this division's over 500 at the end of the year. But we didn't ask who would be bad. We asked who would finish last, and I think it's
Yeah.
Detroit.
I will say
Yeah.
though, like if we're being 100% realistic, I think you could make an argument for each team in the NFC North finishing
Yes.
last this year, just because
Yeah,
of how
for
good
sure.
this division's going to be. I just want to say that because I know Lions fans
And the-
get mad when we shit on the
Yeah.
Lions
And there
because they
are-
have no defense.
Yeah, and there are major flaws with each team, or major questions, I should say. Like, what's JJ gonna be? I don't
Right.
know. We can all make assumptions, which is what you do for every prediction ever, but I mean, that's what it is. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Making all 2010s Bears team. I also prepped this one ahead of time, so Miller can just yell at me, I think.
Okay.
Quarterback Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Running back Matt Forte.
Wait, hold on. I do have a question, just real quick. Are we going with like the peak version of that player, or if we're going peak version of that player, my contrarian ass, just because I don't want Jay Maga running my team, I want to say 2018 Trubisky,
Okay.
specifically 2018 Trubisky.
No, I want specifically
okay.
that one game of Trubisky where he threw 6 touchdowns, and only that
game
game.
against Tampa.
Yeah.
No, he had a couple big games that year. I miss 2018 Trubisky. Not that I'd rather have him than Caleb. I want to make that clear, because when I say I miss Trubisky, people get fucking weird about that. I just love Trubisky.
Bro, it has been
Yes,
so long.
because Chicago fans are weird. All of
No, I
you
know.
still want, not you, I know. It's the all of you, but I have to qualify it because if I'm not talking about you, that means I'm not talking about you. But all Bears fans just want Fields back or Trubisky back or Cutler back. No Bears fan is happy, so who cares?
I was gonna say I
They
don't
like
want
being
him back.
bad.
I don't want Trubisky back. I just love him
Yes. Okay. And then Matt Forte, running back.
for sure.
Wide receivers Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and Allen Robinson.
I don't know if A-Rob was there in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Was he? He might have been
He-
for like a
He
year.
had a 1,000 season in 2019 for them.
Okay. Oh, duh. Yeah, because he was part of the 2018 team. I'm a moron. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
My brain only remembers bad Allen Robinson, his final year, where he hated
Fair.
everyone and didn't want to play football anymore. But yeah, no, Allen Robinson for sure. Also, just going to throw it out, fullback Tyler Klutz.
Yes.
That's my goat.
Tight end Martellus Bennett.
I'd go Zach Miller over Marty.
That's fair. And then offensive line from left to right, Charles Leno Jr.,
Okay.
Josh Titton,
Okay.
Roberto Garza,
Okay.
along Bobby Massey.
Yeah, if we're going with what position they primarily played, I would stick with that. But like if we wanted to get technical, I would kick Massey out, put Kyle Long at right tackle, and then do Cody Whitehair at guard. But
Okay.
that's getting specific because Kyle Long did play right tackle for a year or two there, but he was definitely better at guard. So I'm not complaining.
Okay. Then just I'm going to include both D's and outside linebackers. So defensive ends, Keem Hicks and Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle, I only had one listed. But my one was Eddie Goldman. So you
Yeah,
can
it would
put-
be Goldman and Higgs.
And then outside linebackers, Khalil Mack and Lance Briggs.
Yeah. I would say if we're doing it that way, though, you would move Mack down to DN, kick Hicks inside, and then you have
These are just
Briggs,
like- yeah,
Urlacher.
these are just-
I know you're just, yeah, and then
Yeah.
linebackers would be Briggs, Urlacher, and Roquan.
Yep, which is what I had.
Yeah.
And then starting two corners, or the top two corners, I had Kyle Fuller and Tim Jennings.
Over Peanut?
I guess, yeah, probably Peanut.
I know
Yeah.
it was Old Man Peanut, but like Old Man Peanut was still trucking.
Kyle Fuller and Peanut, probably.
Yeah. And then Tim Jennings would probably be the third one. Him or Bryce Callahan if you want to get specific and say a nickel.
This is a troll one, but for free safety, I put Eddie Jackson.
Honestly, if we're going peak for peak, Eddie Jackson probably would be at free safety just
Oh.
because his 1 year was unfathomable. He had that one really good year.
Strong safety had Chris Conte.
Jake, you know what you did, right?
No.
I can't tell if this is you being funny, haha, or if you just don't know.
He doesn't know.
Chris
Doesn't
Conti
know?
was Eddie Jackson before Eddie Jackson. Except he didn't have one really good year. It was
Oh, I
just
just
all
gave
of the
you-
bad things I say about Eddie Jackson, it was Chris Conti before him.
Okay, so who you putting as strong safety?
Chris
Chris
Adrian
Conti.
Amos, probably.
You name us.
Yeah.
Okay, and the special teams: Robbie Gould, Pat O'Donnell, Devin Hester.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Steve was gonna hate this question. Why is Batman better than Spider-Man?
Just not. Just not.
I disagree.
No,
I
you
also
don't.
disagree.
I don't have a reason. I just like Batman more.
Actually, do I disagree? I don't know.
No, nobody should disagree. You don't even like Batman more. You like Nightwing more, and you're
No, I do
pretending that
like-
fades over to Batman.
No, I do like Batman more than Spider-Man. They're both on my top 5 superheroes, I think. Yes.
I love Batman. To be honest, I think I might put Batman over Spider-Man.
Like I
Personally.
would go like at my top 5 superheroes would be Nightwing, Captain America, Steve Rogers specifically, although we also love Sam Wilson Captain America because he is Captain America. But those two, and then Daredevil, and then Batman, then Spider-Man would be my top 5.
Let's geek. Just whatever you're gonna say, just say it, man.
No, I can't. No, it's when you said he is Captain America, all I could think about was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the kid when they're walking to Isaiah Bradley's house. Yeah, you remember the Hey, Black Falcon. He's
Yeah,
like, what?
I
Because
can't
I'm
remember
black
if it
and I'm
was-
the Falcon? Well, yeah. So what does that make you, black kid?
I couldn't remember if it was that kid that called a Black Falcon. I do remember that being in the
Yeah,
show, though.
dude.
I need to rewatch that. I love
So
Falcon
funny.
and Winter Soldier.
So yeah, it wasn't an
Okay.
argument. It's just it reminded me of that scene,
Mhm.
and it's so funny.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to specify because there's weirdos out
Yeah,
there.
no, for sure.
As a massive Steve Rogers fan, Sam Wilson is currently Captain America.
You can't see
Yeah,
either of my Captain Americas, but they're both back there.
I was gonna say I'll probably have my Cap poster right there eventually. My first Avenger.
So
Poster.
we are we're winding down here. We're down to our last few questions. We have some from Mr. Jedi Joker, though, one of our good buddies. First one is favorite Philadelphia athlete in each sport all time. To give my quick answers,
Oh, Philly.
Eagles, Reggie White. Sixers, Allen Iverson, probably. Phillies, Bryce Harper. And I love Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper. And Flyers, I got nothing there.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Hockey, I got nothing.
So, get the NHL there. But I got 3.
I'll go my 2 football, basketball. Brazil Douglas, James Harden.
All right.
I'm trying to double check something real quick for basketball, so come back to me.
All right. For basketball, I guess AI. I mean,
Allen Iverson,
some
I hope
Iverson.
you mean.
yes. No, I do mean Allen Iverson, and I do mean AI. It's his abbreviation, not anybody else's, not any other bullshit.
Football.
Football, I'm gonna go probably Brian Dawkins. Give me Weapon X.
Okay. And
So
then
electric.
I'm
And
just the Phillies one. Not a Flyers one, but
Yeah, the Phillies. I mean, Bryce Harper probably is the answer, but Nick
Those four were my
Castellanos is
two
a funnier meme, so I'm gonna go Nick Castellanos.
President Homer against the Jays today with all that's going on Twitter, but
He did have 3 hits though, so
true.
he was still cooking.
Still was. All right, Miller, we're up to you.
Eagles, Owen Schmidt, the runaway beer truck, my goat, West Virginia legend. And then the NBA, Tony Bradley, North Carolina legend.
Okay.
Nice.
Can you name a baseball player that we didn't? Which means Bryce
From-
Harper or Nick Castellanos. Yes. Can you name
Oh,
one other?
I didn't even know Bryce Harper played there. I just know Castellanos
just said
because he.
Just said
'Cause
one
the
of
meme.
a team that isn't those.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the famous ones were like famous before Miller might have even known how to pay attention. So
Did Phil play there?
get out. Get out.
Phil E did. Yeah, he's a staple of the franchise.
Yeah, I was gonna say Phil E. Hold on. I'm gonna look up. They're the Phillies, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about Kyle Schwarber, Miller? You know who
That's
that
a
is?
name I've heard before.
Yeah, Chicago legend.
Big part
Yeah,
of the
that's what I've
Cubs
heard of
22.
him.
I'm glad you guys are
Championship.
bullying him and not me because I
I was
don't
gonna
know
say I don't know
anything.
diddly dick about baseball, dude. Let's see here.
Yeah,
I'm
but we're
gonna- I'm
trying
looking
to
up
get Miller
Philadelphia-
into baseball. It's not working, but we're trying. It doesn't
luck,
help
man.
that we can't say watch our teams because our teams are not good.
I'm looking through baseballegg.com. This is
For
the all-time
yourself,
Phillies
pal.
team.
2 out of 3 against the Phillies. Speak for yourself.
Well, let me make sure this guy didn't do anything awful before I say it.
He's found somebody's name and thinks it's really funny.
Yeah, I do not like this.
I love it. His face dropped so hard. Did he like murder a small village? What happened?
No, he just died a really sad death.
Oh,
Who is it?
Rest in
My new goat, Frank McGraw, otherwise known as Tug McGraw, who played for the Phillies from 75 to 84. And he died of a brain cancer and was one of 6 Phillies players who did because there was there was thought to be an issue with toxic chemicals in the AstroTurf at their stadium. So that's really sad. But his name was Tug McGraw, so he's my new favorite Philly. I won't remember his name after we get done recording here.
no.
R.I.P. a legend, though. Served in the
He
Marines.
also wants to know our thoughts on the Madden 26 cover. I think it's fine.
I hope the Madden curse kicks in. Saquon downfall. We are here.
Why are you rooting for
He's a
Saquon's-
Trumpy.
He's a Trumpy.
What?
He's friends
He
with
was,
Trump.
he was
yeah.
golfing with Trump
Oh.
recently.
Yeah, he's homies with Trump. I want the Saquon downfall. Not going to root for an injury, but I want him to suck next year. I want him to take a step back and be worse at football. I need the Madden curse, but not through an injury, just through poor play. Yeah, that was my reaction when I found out about it too, Geek.
I hate it here.
Yeah. Derrick Henry
so
would
my-
never.
And yeah, then the next question it could be in relation to this. Would you rather be deaf or blind? I think I'd rather be deaf, so I never had to hear that Saquon was a Trumpy. But
Yeah, but you would have seen it on Twitter.
I think I'm choosing the
Sure.
bullet.
I'd rather be deaf, personally.
I would rather be deaf. I would like to see still.
So
There's a lot of options for still viewing sports games and movies when you're deaf.
see, for as much as
You know?
Steven claims to love music, choosing to never hear it
Oh, no,
again is
but-
wild.
I just would rather see.
Yeah, I think I would rather see as well.
Like being deaf would be ass, but also being blind would be worse.
I think if my brain worked like a normal person, I would choose blind so easy. Because you like still being able to like, especially if it's like going blind, because you could just picture things in your head still. I can't, so I would just be literally in the dark all the time, and that would be like terrifying. And then being deaf would suck because I don't know, can't
If I
picture
was
their
blind, I
voices
could
in my
watch
head.
Spider-Man.
True.
Yeah, but now you can never hear the thwips.
He can imagine
True.
the flips.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, see, I can't, so I think I'm just picking the bullet.
Okay. We have 3 questions left. Last one from Mr. Jedi Joker is: have a conversation with any cartoon character. Which one would it be?
Spider-Man.
I mean, immediate. My answer is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I think that would be the most fun conversation
New
ever,
episodes
bro.
of Phineas and Ferb tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it might even be midnight. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't believe Donald Trump got rid of Doofenshmirtz though. That really pissed me off.
Oh, I was so confused.
He got rid of DEI, Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. He got rid of it.
Okay, well, let's just
All right.
answer the question.
Good joke. It was a good joke.
Ooh, thank you, Steven. God, what cartoon character would I want to meet?
I thought
Well,
this would be
it's
much
the right
easier for
cartoon
you
shelf.
than it is apparently. I thought you were just gonna pick one of the regular show guys and get out of here, but clearly you're thinking about it more
no.
than that.
I was gonna say because I have a bunch. Because what I feel. Listen, as much as I love regular show, I feel like having a conversation with Rigby would piss me off, and I feel like having a conversation with Mordecai would be really dry.
You could just talk to me if you want to
I
talk
was
to
gonna
me.
say, yeah, and I could just talk to Steven. I could talk to Steven, look at a picture of a blue jay.
My brain
Um,
immediately went to like Archer from the show Archer, but
Yeah.
I act too much like Archer. I think we'd just yell until he shot me, and so I'm pretty okay here.
You could go with Stan from your favorite
No,
show,
'cause
American Dad.
he's dumber than Grayson.
Yeah, but he's got charm to him.
He's funnier, that's for sure.
I really wish if this was fictional character, I would know my answer right away. But
Yeah.
does anime count for cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes this harder then. I should have asked that question.
Should have said no. Yeah, should have
Should have said no. You should have gone home.
Right
Don't want to
now,
talk to
just-
Gojo.
I was gonna say, just based on what I've been doing recently, I guess Gojo would be my.
You want
my
to ask
go-to
if you're
answer.
playing Saruki well enough?
I was gonna say no. That's what I would do. I would have a conversation with Gojo and be like, "All right, Gojo, I'm
Just
trying
like-
to be you in
You're
D&D."
taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Either him
Um,
or no. I know my answer. Kamina from Gurren Lagann. He would fix all of my confidence problems. I know none of you will understand what the fuck I'm talking about. It's
Nope.
this anime right here, where this poster's from, and where this figure's from. It's my favorite anime of all time. The main character has like an older brother figure that is like the source of all of his confidence, and that man, he would fix all of my problems in a single conversation. He would make me feel good about myself.
Okay.
It sounds like I'm saying I want to fuck this guy. I promise it's not what I'm trying to say.
It's Pride Month.
I mean, hey, love is love, but not the way I swing. I just want him to tell me he believes in me.
Okay, yeah. Well, we get it, man.
I
Dude,
swing
I don't know if I
right 'cause
have
I'm
an answer.
right-handed personally.
Good call.
I'm struggling
You
so
had
hard
an answer.
because like all of my
Do it.
answers for this are like who I would want to speak to in terms of like if it's just if you could have a conversation with like any person dead or alive, it's always like scientists and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I am really struggling to come up with cartoon scientists that I
Reed
don't
Richards or Hank Pym from Avengers cartoon number 4. Like,
right like
Earth's Mightiest
that's what
Heroes,
I'm
Hank
doing,
Pym.
but it's like I've also never seen those shows, so I don't
You've
know if
never
I
seen
want to.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Mm-mm.
I guess you're not a big TV show guy. I always forget that.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me make sure I'm thinking of the right one because
but so I don't know. I'm gonna go with
oh yeah, I definitely am. Earth's Mightiest Heroes goes so hard.
yeah, I got nothing, man. Like I have ideas, but like none of them sound that intriguing when I actually think about it for more than 3 seconds.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna go with Light from Death Note. That'd be interesting. Speak with
Okay.
the God Complex, not a God Complex. The God Complex.
He'd put your name in the book,
Alright.
dude.
That'd be
So
so.
you
sick.
have,
Maybe I could steal the book.
David.
I'd be in that book so fast.
What do you mean?
I'd be in that book
Next
so
gay
fast.
joke I make, Kiku's killing me with the book.
Hey, no,
AJ McCarthy throws one interception and just preemptively.
no, I would never. Okay, I'm not gonna say I would never. There's a world where I would put JJ's name in there. He could play porno.
No. I meant you'd write my name in it so
Oh.
I couldn't say anything
Yeah,
about
okay.
JJ McCarthy. I didn't
Oh.
mean you'd kill your quarterback. I meant you'd kill me for slandering
Like,
him.
I mean, 3 years in, if he's like Christian Ponder level, I definitely would.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson.
Heard it here
Yes.
first.
See, it would start. Oh my God. If I ended up with the Death Note, I feel like it would just be the same as the TV show. I would start by trying to be a really good person and then just slowly devolve into a psycho because that's how it works when you have that much power. It would be the exact same as the show, except I'm not a cop's son.
Where are you?
I don't know.
True. Anyway, we have a question we have 2 questions left. One was fairly easy to answer from Peter Madison. Who is the biggest NPC you know and why is it Bad Duck?
Well, shout out Peter. He knows ball.
It is Grayson.
It is Grayson. It is.
Just look at his Spotify.
Since I know he's listening and it'll be funny, can I present to you a Jedi Joker 93?
He's up there.
I do not know Jedi well enough to say anything negative about him and feel
I played
That's
like
not
5 hours
negative.
of Fortnite with that guy.
That's not negative.
He's got
Love you, Jedi.
some
Not
NPC
negative.
tendencies.
I mean, we're saying Grayson is NPC, so I think like inherently it's negative because we're using it to describe
true.
Grayson.
Okay, but then like just like saying somebody's human is a negative because we also know Grayson's like shut up. That's not what this means.
I'm gonna kill this guy. I can't do it.
All right, we just gotta move on. I'm going to crash out. I'm too tired to listen to him semantic bullshit again. I can't do this. Can't do this anymore. Okay, draft your all NFL flag football team for the Olympics.
Ooh, who was this
Kyler
from?
Murray,
I remember
quarterback.
getting this reply.
It's the only one on your tweets from Michael DeFran.
Yeah, it was Fran. Okay.
Anyway, so here's what I got because I thought about this already. I think I even tweeted it. Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't. Somebody with receiving upside at running back, so like Bijan Robinson or like Saquon, like because they'll be at center.
Now,
and
hold
then
on. Question. Are we talking about out of right now, or are we trying to project for when it's going to be in the Olympics here in like 3 or 4 years?
Right now, if we had to build a flag
Okay.
football team right now. And then
Okay.
wide receivers / cornerbacks, Travis Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. You could probably toss Justin Jefferson in there just so he could dominate on the offensive side of the ball and probably be serviceable enough to stop a
Yeah.
Romanian wide receiver on that corner. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just Chase, I guess.
What?
They probably just throw Chase there too. I don't know what the roster looks like, but
I don't know
I was
how
gonna
many
say, yeah.
receivers they have, but I got Travis Hunter's got to be there with his
Yes.
two-way
Yeah.
ability. Like, got to be there.
So what is
Um,
the roster composition for flag football?
I think it's a quarterback, a running back who plays running back in center, and then 3 wide receivers.
bro, we should get Zeke then.
No.
Or 3
Oh my
receiving
God.
options. 3 receiving options. So technically, you could throw a tight end in there if you wanted.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna go.
So your receivers end up playing corner then?
Yes.
Yeah, they have to play both ways.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
so
why
I'm gonna
throwing Travis
go.
Hunter and Justin Jefferson because Justin Jefferson is big enough and fast enough to just cover an accountant from
Yeah.
France. You know, like
Right.
I really do kind of agree with the like American flag football players who are like, we should get a chance. I say you assemble what would be the like flag football team of flag football players and let them play the NFL version. And if they can win, they can have the
winner
spot.
goes to the Olympics.
Yep.
Winner goes to the
Yep.
Olympics.
I think that should be the path. Because
Down.
if you're so sure that you're better, beat them. That's
Yeah,
it.
Make
beat
that
him.
the Pro Bowl.
Yes, make that the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think
I would watch that 1,000 times over the current Pro Bowl. You know, format.
all right. My roster, I'm going with Nick Bowden at quarterback, Kyle Juszczyk at wide receiver 1, and then I'm putting Hunter Lipke at wide receiver, or I'm sorry, CJ Ham at wide receiver 2, Hunter Lipke at tailback, and then like the tight end / rusher, I'm putting Pat Ricard. And then Kari Blasingame is my alt player, like the extra.
I don't know if I'd put Ricard out there. You don't block
care.
in flag football, man.
Okay, I'm throwing him out there
The
anyway.
least physical version of football. Let's pick all.
All
of our
right, all
physical-
Yeah, let's
right.
pick
All right.
only the
I'll take-
physical guy.
Okay, let me pull Ricard then, and
just
I
put
will
Kari.
put. Well, yeah,
Or Kari.
Yeah.
Like,
There you
Yeah. Okay.
go. But Bowden's got to be quarterback. I have faith in Bowden at quarterback because he played there at San Diego State.
Geek.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Lamar. I'm gonna go Bijan, running back. I'm gonna agree with you and say Hunter and Jefferson, but I think the third wide receiver, just because he played receiver in college and is a corner now, Trayvon Diggs.
True.
Just
That's a good shout.
be done. Like, he doesn't have to do that much offensively, but he can. If there's somehow another flag football team that has two good receivers, he can cover the Jefferson problem. Yeah,
That's true. Like, he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be thinking about Trayvon Diggs running a slant route while Justin Jefferson's 90 yards down the field already.
which means
like,
somehow
it's
Diggs will have the most memorable Olympic run ever. He will be
Right,
the
so-
MVP.
a slant pass over the middle that goes for like 90 yards because
Yep.
everybody else is like glued to Jefferson. Or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
My team
Steven?
is going to be Geek's team, but I'm just switching the quarterback out for Kyler because I think being small will probably be like really good.
Okay.
Okay.
You can really be like
I don't
kind
hate
of get
that.
under guys.
he's just so tiny. What are we going to
Yeah.
do?
I can't catch him.
If you ever need to
And then I-
cheer yourself up, just watch a video of Kyler Murray running. It is the
Yeah.
greatest thing.
Did you guys see?
Um,
I know praising Madden is a bad thing, but did you see they revamped all of the quarterback animations and are apparently going to have his toddler waddle in the new game?
Let's
It'll be
go.
done.
Might have to
I'm
play.
very excited. Yeah.
There's actually the second part to Michael's question. It's what international athletes like NBA players could theoretically put up the best fight against Team USA in football? Giannis, I guess.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
NBA players.
Giannis, Jokic.
Yeah, NBA. I mean,
Wemby.
any of the
you know,
quickest, most
I-
athletic NBA players.
Actually, I don't know if
Um,
Giannis and Jokic and them could. They're not gonna be
Give-
fast enough.
Give me Jokic at quarterback, though. That
Ooh,
dude can-
okay,
that-
yeah,
Jokic
yeah,
at
yeah,
quarterback. And then listen,
Sure.
just because it's not physical doesn't mean you can't get physical at the catch point.
Sure.
Giannis, I think, is
So
fast
Giannis
enough.
is gonna moss somebody, and then Wemby, Jokic can just lob it, and he can go.
Oh, offensively, I agree. I just mean they can't stop anybody. Was my bigger
play
point.
contain all game. Just keep everyone 15 yards back and play contain all game.
They gotta put like Shy at corner. You know.
No,
A
no,
little-
I think the corners are like the quick, like De'Aaron Fox, like Tyrese
Yeah.
Maxey, like those really quick
Not-
guards that are already like 6'4".
Those are both Americans, though. You can't.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I guess it. I
Shea
didn't,
would
realize,
work.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
we were doing international, but I thought we
Yeah.
were just doing.
I think we
basketball.
Are there any
NBA
other-
players.
But with that
Rival
thought
team,
process, are there any other like international? I know Kyrie's Australian, right?
Who?
But is he like in
Kyrie.
shape for that now?
Well, Kyrie's
Well, he has a
in
torn
shape for
ACL,
nothing right
so-
now because he's injured. But
Yeah,
Well, like if he was
I-
healthy.
oh, if he was healthy, then
One-
yes.
One defensive rep against Justin Jefferson, and he is on the ground clutching some part of his leg.
That's
I will be
also
honest.
fair.
I'm
He's
not
not-
crazy with that, right?
No, he's Australian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was born in Melbourne. Okay, I just wanted to make
Give me
sure.
Ben Simmons, bro. Give me Ben Simmons.
fuck it.
You
You
not?
just lost.
I mean, to be fair, I think also it's not physical and they're not fast enough, but hockey players would go crazy. Some of the international ones are just like
Oh yeah.
deep free, but it's not physical enough for them to really make an impact.
And because I know
Um,
somebody's gonna say it somewhere, yes, I'm sure you could assemble a team of rugby players. I don't know fucking nothing about rugby, so I'm not gonna try.
Paul Lassick.
Bro, sipping it.
Paul Lassick would go on that team.
Give me Shohei, give me Shohei, a little two-way action, bro. Give me Shohei slinging the ball.
Okay, I mean this not out of disrespect, but because I genuinely don't know. Is Shohei like genuinely athletic?
Yes.
Okay. I just know because there's some baseball players that just hit good. I know he plays two ways, but he pitches, right?
Yeah.
And pitchers, you
When he
don't have to be,
played in
like,
Japan, he was an
inherently athletic.
outfielder, which is
Okay.
normally where the athletes
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
He just
Gotcha.
now that he's in the
He's so-
majors, teams are like, we're not gonna risk $80
Sure.
bajillion by putting you in the field when you don't need to
Right.
be there.
I was gonna say, I know this is a bad example because this is like olden era, but my brain, when I think of that kind of stuff, immediately goes to Babe Ruth, and that dude is like the most overweight, unathletic dude ever.
That's so, like, he was a bigger dude, but I hate that because it's just based off the shitty movie with that one fat fuck. Babe Ruth
That's
was
my
not that
only
big.
reference
No,
of
I
Babe
know.
Ruth.
It is the worst depiction
Gotcha.
of an athlete in any movie ever. Like,
Gotcha.
genuinely. And, like, I don't think, like, Babe Ruth, it's not like he was, you know, a today level athlete, but this idea that he was just a fat slob who didn't do anything is just so wrong. And that's
no, he
not
was
a
good.
that's not a you problem. That is a
No, I know.
the way he was portrayed is just awful.
Yeah.
And I hate
And
it.
I was gonna say, I wasn't asking the Shohei question to be like, baseball players aren't athletic. I just
Because
genuinely.
there are
I
some. Go real
Yeah.
quick, do me a favor, look up Prince Fielder.
Prince
That
Fielder.
and Cologne, those two.
Oh, big sexy.
Prince.
Yes.
Fielder. Yeah, this is
Right.
this is Glenn Davis, but baseball.
Now, for fun, look up Bartolo Colon. His nickname, I didn't just say that to say that. His nickname was Big Sexy. Very funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Legend.
Major League home.
What?
He's that dude has hit more home runs in the major leagues than you have, and he was a pitcher. That dude.
Dude,
I
that
mean,
dude's
hey,
a
I
legend.
hope he's hit more than me.
Anyway, that's all our questions, and I believe that's all we got. So,
I
congrats
actually
to the
have a
patient.
question.
Please.
Hurry it up, man.
He's nervous.
He didn't have. He
I
didn't have anything.
yeah, I got nervous. You guys put too much pressure on me.
He doesn't
Okay.
look calm and ready, though.
What's everyone's favorite color?
Forest green.
Purple.
Okay,
Good job.
Perfect. Miller, what's your favorite?
navy blue.
Perfect. Okay, what a great way to end it. Congrats to the Pacers on winning Game 1. Tyrese Halliburton, you're a madman.
Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler.
Oh,
care.
why'd you acknowledge it? We weren't gonna acknowledge it.
Okay, can you run me out to the show without mentioning the bad man? Why are we doing this? Terrible. I can't. You've ruined the show. Ruined the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Run North podcast. Aaron Rodgers sucks as a person and as a player, and the Steelers are doomed. So he's the only man capable of losing them the 9-8 season streak. It's gonna be over. Anyway, we love you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give us a rating and review on Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe over on YouTube if you're watching over there. And we, all four of us, will see you next time.
Happy Pride Month.
Bye.